Picture a world on the brink, teetering on the edge of oblivion. In 1983, one man's choice stood between life and the end of everything. The Cold War grips the globe, a silent war of fear and suspicion. In the United States and the Soviet Union, nuclear missiles stand ready, their warheads poised to erase entire cities in minutes. A single spark could ignite the apocalypse. Deep in a secret bunker near Moscow, a man sits alone, surrounded by the hum of machines and the weight of the world. His name is Stanislav Petrov, and tonight, he will face a moment that could change history forever. The bunker is a concrete tomb, buried beneath the earth, its air thick with tension. Dim lights flicker overhead, casting shadows on cold steel walls. Rows of consoles glow faintly, their screens filled with numbers and graphs that mean life or death. Petrov, a lieutenant colonel in his 30s, sits at the center of it all. His uniform is crisp, but his eyes are tired, carrying the strain of a soldier who knows the cost of war. He's not a general, not a hero in the stories told to children, just a man doing his duty, monitoring the skies for signs of an attack. His job is simple: watch the screens, trust the system, report the truth. But tonight, the truth will test him like never before. It's just past midnight, September 26, 1983. The room is quiet, save for the low buzz of equipment and the occasional murmur of other officers. Petrov sips cold coffee, his fingers tapping restlessly on the console. The Soviet early warning system, OKO, is his lifeline to the outside world, a network of satellites scanning for American missiles. It's a machine built to protect, to warn, to ensure survival. But machines, like men, can make mistakes. And tonight, one will. Suddenly, the silence shatters. A piercing siren splits the air, sharp and relentless. Red lights flash across the bunker, bathing the room in an eerie glow. Petrov's head snaps up. The main screen pulses with a single, terrifying word: attack! His heart pounds as the system screams its warning. 5 American nuclear missiles, launched from the United States, are streaking toward the Soviet Union. Each one carries enough power to obliterate millions. The room erupts into chaos. Officers shout, their voices overlapping in a frantic chorus. Protocol is clear. Report the attack immediately. The chain of command will take it from there. Orders will be given, missiles will fly, retaliation will be swift. Within minutes, the world could be ash. But Petrov doesn't move. He stares at the screen, his mind racing. Something feels wrong, like a knot in his gut he can't ignore. 5 missiles? An all-out American attack would send hundreds, thousands, not a handful. The data is too clean, too perfect, like a script written by a machine with no sense of reality. He checks the radar feeds, nothing. No ground-based confirmation, no secondary alerts. The satellites say war, but the world outside is silent. His training tells him to act, to pick up the phone, to sound the alarm. His superiors expect it. His country demands it. Failure to report could mean treason, disgrace, or worse. But Petrov hesitates. He leans forward, his eyes locked on the screen. The sirens wail. The red lights pulse like a heartbeat. Every second feels like an eternity. He thinks of his wife, his son, sleeping soundly in their apartment miles away. He thinks of Moscow's streets, filled with people unaware of the shadow looming over them. He thinks of the American cities that would burn in retaliation: New York, Washington, Chicago, gone in a flash. Billions of lives hang in the balance, and he holds the thread. Trust the machine or trust himself. The choice is his alone. Petrov's hand hovers over the phone. His colleagues watch, their faces pale, waiting for his call. He can feel their eyes, their fear, their expectation. Protocol is a chain around his neck, pulling him toward action. But something deeper, a quiet, stubborn instinct, holds him back. He's seen machines fail before. He's seen false alarms, glitches, errors that looked like truth until they weren't. This moment, this decision, is bigger than protocol. It's bigger than him. He takes a breath, steadying himself, and makes his choice. "This is a false alarm," he says. His voice steady but low, cutting through the chaos. The words feel heavy, like stones dropped into a still pond. The officers around him freeze, disbelief etched on their faces. False? With the sirens screaming and the screen flashing, "Attack?" Petrov repeats it, louder this time, his tone firm. "It's a malfunction. Stand down." He doesn't know if he's right, but he knows he can't be wrong. Not with the world at stake. The minutes crawl by, each one a lifetime. 23 agonizing minutes pass, the bunker thick with tension. Petrov watches the screens, waiting for confirmation, for proof, for anything. The sirens keep blaring, but no missiles fall. No explosions light up the horizon. Finally, the truth arrives, cold and clear. The system was wrong. The satellites had mistaken sunlight reflecting off high-altitude clouds for the heat signatures of missile launches. A glitch, a trick of light, had nearly triggered the end of the world. Petrov exhales, his shoulders slumping. The room is silent now, the sirens stilled. His colleagues stare, some with relief, others with uncertainty. He saved them all, but no one cheers. No one claps him on the back or calls him a hero. Instead, the weight of what just happened settles over him like dust. He knows what he's done, and he knows what it might cost. In the days that follow, Petrov's choice isn't celebrated. He's questioned. His superiors summon him, their faces stern. Why didn't he follow protocol? Why did he risk the nation's security on a hunch? He explains, calmly, methodically, pointing to the lack of radar confirmation, the improbability of a 5-missile attack. But the military doesn't reward deviation, even when it's right. They reprimand him, shuffle him to a desk job, and eventually ease him out of the service. He returns to civilian life, a quiet man in a quiet apartment, his story buried under layers of secrecy. Years pass. The Cold War fades, the Soviet Union crumbles, and the world moves on. But Petrov's moment lingers, a secret kept from the history books. It's not until decades later, when classified files are opened and whispers become headlines, that his name surfaces. A man who stopped World War III not with a weapon but with a pause. A man who trusted his gut over a machine, his heart over a system. The world learns his name, Stanislav Petrov, and marvels at what he did. Awards come, small and late, from groups far from the Kremlin. A documentary, a handshake, a plaque. But Petrov doesn't seek the spotlight. He lives simply, modestly, a man who knows the weight of what he carried and set down. Imagine that moment in the bunker, the red lights flashing, the sirens screaming. Imagine the courage it took to say no, to stand still when the world demanded action. Petrov didn't fire a shot, didn't lead an army, didn't seek glory. He simply chose reason over panic, humanity over protocol. And in that choice, he gave us all a tomorrow. His story isn't one of medals or parades. It's one of quiet strength, of a single man facing a machine and deciding the fate of billions. It's a reminder that heroes don't always wear capes or carry swords. Sometimes, they're just people who listen to the voice inside, the one that whispers truth when everything else screams lies. Stanislav Petrov's name may never be carved in stone, but his choice is etched in the survival of the world. Because of him, we're still here, breathing, living, hoping. Sometimes, the greatest act of courage is refusing to pull the trigger.